On a cold December morning, Washington, D.C. was rocked by news that the Commerce Department had quietly approved a license for Nvidia to export its powerful H200 AI chips to China. The move, revealed through leaked documents, marked a sharp reversal of the Biden administration's previous restrictions aimed at curbing China's tech ambitions. The policy shift ignited fierce debate, pitting national security hawks against Silicon Valley giants. Was this a pragmatic response to market realities, or a dangerous concession to a strategic rival? Silicon Valley argued that a total ban would hurt U.S. companies more than China, accelerating Chinese chip development. Some officials favored a small yard, high fence approach, restricting only the most critical tech, not all trade. But national security voices warned that the H200 is a dual-use technology with serious military potential. To them, selling these chips to China is like handing over blueprints for next-gen weaponry. They argue that short-term profits are outweighed by long-term strategic risks. The decision, they warn, could supercharge Beijing's military modernization and erode America's tech edge. The stakes are nothing less than the future of global technological leadership. This is not just a policy shift, it's the opening shot in a new, more complex phase of the US-China rivalry. The world is watching to see who will blink first. What makes the Nvidia H200 so important? It's a GPU designed for artificial intelligence, powering everything from ChatGPT to advanced data analysis. With trillions of calculations per second, the H200 is the engine behind modern AI breakthroughs. Its high-bandwidth memory, HBM3E, lets it process massive datasets at unprecedented speeds. For AI, data is fuel. The faster it's processed, the smarter the AI. The H200's leap in performance opens new frontiers in science, medicine, and autonomous systems. That's why the US imposed export controls to keep this power out of China's hands. Earlier restrictions targeted Nvidia's top chips, forcing the company to make weaker, export-compliant versions for China. But the H200, a modified version of Nvidia's B100, is far more powerful than previous China special chips. Its approval signals a re-evaluation of the tech red line. For Chinese AI developers, access to the H200 is a game-changer. They can now train models faster and close the gap with the West. US security experts see this as a nightmare scenario. The H200's export is not just a business decision, it's a strategic gamble. The line between commercial and military use has never been thinner. The world's most advanced AI hardware is now in play. Capitol Hill erupted in outrage. Lawmakers from both parties condemned the Commerce Department's move, calling it a catastrophic failure of judgment. Emergency hearings were announced, with some senators vowing to introduce bills to override the decision and impose stricter export controls. Their message? You can't trust a strategic competitor with technology that could be weaponized. They point to China's military-civil fusion policy, where commercial tech is funneled to the military. Every H200 chip sold, they argue, could end up in the hands of the People's Liberation Army. Security officials warn that AI is at the heart of modern warfare, guiding drones, missiles, and cyber operations. Giving China access to top-tier AI hardware, they say, is like unilaterally disarming in the tech arms race. For these hawks, the risk is immediate and existential. The decision, they insist, is a gamble America cannot afford. In Beijing, the news was met with cautious optimism and a sense of vindication. Chinese officials called the move a step toward fair trade, but privately, they saw it as a temporary reprieve. The chip blockade of recent years only deepened China's resolve for tech self-sufficiency. Billions are being poured into domestic semiconductor development to break free from US supply chains. The H200 approval is a short-term win, not a permanent fix. China will likely stockpile chips and accelerate R&D in homegrown AI hardware. The decision will also be used as diplomatic leverage, painting the US as unpredictable and urging other nations to diversify away from American tech. For Beijing, this is both a tactical victory and a strategic lesson. True security comes from domestic innovation. The message to Chinese industry is clear: use this window to catch up. The US move may have eased pressure, but the tech race is far from over. China's long-term goal remains unchanged technological independence. The rivalry is only intensifying. For Nvidia and CEO Jensen Huang, this is a pivotal moment. The company has long balanced its role as a US defense partner with its dependence on the lucrative Chinese market. The H200 approval is a win for Nvidia's lobbying, but it comes with risks. Nvidia argues that broad export bans hurt US innovation and only push China to develop its own chips faster. By selling a slightly less powerful chip, they claim, the US keeps some control and funds future research. Other chip makers are watching closely, hoping to follow Nvidia's lead. But the company now faces intense scrutiny. Any sign its chips aid China's military could spark backlash and new crackdowns. The H200 decision boosts Nvidia's stock, but ties its fate to the volatile US-China relationship. The stakes for American tech have never been higher. The core fear is military use. China's military-civil fusion policy ensures civilian tech, like the H200, can be repurposed for the People's Liberation Army. A chip sold to a cloud firm today could power a PLA data center tomorrow. The H200 could train AI for autonomous weapons, drone swarms, and advanced surveillance. It could also supercharge cyber warfare and deepfake propaganda. The chip's power enables real-time analysis of massive data, giving the PLA a battlefield edge. US regulators can't reliably track end use once chips enter China. The opaque network of Chinese firms makes oversight nearly impossible. The same technology that drives commercial innovation can also build more lethal weapons. This is the heart of the security dilemma. Even before the H200 approval, enforcing export controls was a losing battle. Black markets for banned Nvidia chips flourished, with smugglers using shell companies and transshipment hubs to get chips into China. The demand was so high that chips sold for double or triple their original price. US enforcement agencies are understaffed and overwhelmed, struggling to police millions of global transactions. Smugglers use sophisticated methods to evade detection, making prosecution difficult. Some policymakers concluded that if China will get advanced chips anyway, it's better to control the process and reduce black market demand. Allowing sales of slightly less powerful chips gives the US more visibility and revenue. It's a controversial, pragmatic response to the limits of enforcement. The tech blockade is porous, and everyone knows it. The tech war isn't just about governments. It affects engineers, researchers, and startups on both sides. Silicon Valley's global talent pool is shrinking as Chinese engineers face suspicion and return home, fueling China's own tech boom. US export controls may be accelerating China's domestic innovation by driving talent and investment back to Beijing. American startups, lacking the resources of giants like Nvidia, struggle with regulatory uncertainty and market loss. In China, startups know their access to US tech could vanish overnight, so they're racing to build homegrown alternatives. Venture capital is shifting to support domestic chipmakers and AI firms. The policy intended to slow China may be catalyzing its rise. The next generation of competitors is being forged in this crucible. The rivalry is reshaping the global tech landscape from the ground up. Innovation is now a matter of national survival. The H200 export decision marks a turning point in the US-China tech war. Some analysts see it as a pragmatic shift. Controlled trade keeps US firms strong and maintains influence over China's tech trajectory. They argue that American innovation will ultimately prevail, and that economic strength is the bedrock of national security. Others warn it's a grave mistake, empowering China's military and eroding US superiority for short-term profit. The debate highlights the central dilemma: how to balance economic interests with national security in an era of strategic competition. Too much restriction risks harming the US economy. Too little risks empowering a rival. The Biden administration is trying to walk a fine line between these extremes. Whether this path leads to sustained American leadership or accelerates decline remains to be seen. The stakes are immense, not just for the US and China, but for the future of global technology. The world is watching as the next chapter of the tech war unfolds. The outcome will shape the 21st century. The race is on.